Welcome to Geek Banter, Episode 7. I'm David Baldwin.
I'm Mark Selby.
And this week we are talking about good old comic book shops. Why they're still important, what we think makes for a good LCS, that's local comic shop, yada yada yada. We might also get a bit nostalgic about shops of days gone by. Then, Mark's going to tell us about how they saved the Ranger class in 5th Edition Oddities. Finally, we bring back the Weekly Geek, which we should rename to the Whenever We Feel Like It Geek. There's a metric shit ton of juicy news, so come geek out with us. If you dig the show, subscribe on VidMe and YouTube to keep up with what's geeked this week. We're on Facebook and Tumblr at Geek Banter, and on Twitter at Geek_Banter.
So real quick.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure that shit ton has become, maybe it's fuck ton. Fuck ton or shit ton has become its actual own measurement.
Well, I know butt load is an actual measurement, but it's really old. It's actually
Okay.
126 gallons.
Oh, okay.
Is a butt load.
I've heard that like fuck ton or shit ton has become its own measurement. And if that's the case,
It should.
Then metric shit ton wouldn't make sense because it's two measurements.
Dude, that's nerdy as balls.
You're welcome.
So, kind of an interesting topic this week. Something that just we kind of felt like talking about a little bit. So we're talking about comic book shops. Your local, little hole in the wall comic shops. Real quick, we have shout outs to the ones in the area here. In Tacoma, we have Atomic Comics and my new favorite, Stargazer Comics over on 6th Ave. And I think that's pretty much it for true comic book shops
In
Tacoma.
Yeah.
In the area.
Yeah.
Down Olympia, of course, there's Olympic Cars and Comics Gabby's shop, which is fantastic. It's won awards and everything. But that's down Olympia.
Quite a ways.
Yeah. So, I guess first, let's, kind of talk about why comic book shops are still important in a, kind of an age where you can just order all this shit online and why bother? You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, I feel it's more like, yeah, I can go online and be like, all right, well, what have I missed? I'll just order this crap. Sure. But I don't really know what I'm getting at all. I don't know how interested in this particular storyline I'm going to be. Whereas
that's
I can
a good
go to
point.
a comic book shop and I can be like, well, I actually haven't, been a part of Incredible Hulk in a while. I'm going to pick up the latest issue real quick and just flip through real quick and see if it grabs my interest. And then, oh, hey, this is really good. Bam. Buying it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the great things about a comic book shop is you can, I've never been to a comic book shop that isn't welcome to you perusing and flipping through a book and stuff. So you can really get, a sense of what is beyond just the names on the page and the cover and the synopsis. You can actually flip through it and see the art and, maybe read a page or two. It's also a great way to discover new stuff, to just like walk around. It's kind of like I kind of miss video rental stores, like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video.
Yeah, because everything was on display. You could just walk around and you could find all sorts of stuff. That was the great thing about it. Is you just like, I don't know what I want to watch. I'm just going to start going through things I like. Comedies. What's this? Oh, this is an actor I like. I didn't know
absolutely.
He was in this.
And they would also carry really bizarre indie stuff that was just ridiculous. And but I also loved going through the the video game sections and doing the same thing. It just doesn't. Right. There's nothing like that anymore. Redbox just can't quite capture that anymore. But That's why comic book shops are so important. They also help keep comic books alive.
Yeah.
The actual books have actually they've taken quite a hit in sales, I'd say, over the last 20 years. Just that the internet and I don't know, just something has, they don't sell, it's not as popular as it used to be.
Right.
So having this place you can go to, and a lot of places you can just kind of hang out, like Stargazer, for example, is a perfect example of this. They literally want you, it's not like, buy something or get the fuck out. They have that you can go in there and play retro games for free. You can play board games for free. They even have a rack of books you can read. You can just sit down and read whenever you want. They have a book of comics you can take for free and leave comics too. And it seems to be full all the time.
Right.
So, you can hang out there, meet new people, play new games, and for a lot of introverts, that can be really important. And it can also be really important in a place like Tacoma, where, for kids, for like teenagers and stuff, it's a good place for them to go and, frankly, not be on the streets or getting into trouble or anything like that.
Yeah. I actually have a guy at my work that is like an aspiring comic book artist / like basically he's doing his own comic. He's got the story and everything. And he used to hang out at Comic Book Inc. all the time.
Oh yeah,
like 24/7. And before it closed down, and that's where he found his inspiration. Like, that's where he found out that he could draw. That's where he found out that he was really good at drawing. And that's where he got the inspiration to do what he's doing.
Yeah, that's another, positive of like hanging out at a comic book shop is you can really get inspired.
Yeah.
And you can, if you just talk to, if the owners are really friendly, and they, the clerk isn't some asshole that doesn't want to talk to you, which
happens a lot.
Been in that situation before, but a lot of times they're super friendly, and I remember having long conversations with John at Comic Book Inc.
Yeah. Or
Billy or Alex, just shooting the shit. HeroClix, a lot of times we would just it's a little off track, but we would after HeroClix, like me, Billy, a couple of the other guys. Billy was the HeroClix judge, by the way. Great guy, but we would hang out and just bullshit for like an hour after the tournament and the shop is closed and stuff. So it really fosters this community that really is important for geeks especially. Frankly, we need to stick together. I mean, it's important for indie folks who need to get their stuff out there.
Yeah.
So next, let's I want to get your take on this. What do you think makes a great comic book shop?
Well, that's a really broad question, David, because it all comes down to opinion on that, and it all comes down to I don't know. I don't like going into a comic book shop and it being just like comics on the walls and a register.
Yeah.
If it's that, I walk out. There's no soul.
Okay.
That's how I feel. That's my experience. I had a tough time when I lived in Billings, Montana for a while. They have 3 comic book shops there, and they all look exactly the same. And if they don't know you personally, they won't talk to you, including the clerks, unless you bring stuff up. They won't tell you hello. They won't try and help you out at all. They just ignore you.
Jesus.
And there was like no soul to them at all. That's all you walk in. There might be a table where you could sit at, and there was just rows of comics on the walls, and some trades, and the register.
Wow. So it was just like I don't know, just like a closet for like a bookstore or something like that.
Yeah. Now, as what makes a great comic book shop, I think one of the main components has to be the person behind the register or whoever's like the people working there. The more outgoing they are, the better experience you're going to have.
Mm-hmm. For sure. You do really need somebody who can engage the customers in conversation, and it's almost part of the experience for a newcomer. Weirdly enough, like I remember I have one of my memories of a poor, bad experience. I don't know if it was kind of a comic book shop, but way back in the day, I was like 13 or so when I was just getting into HeroClix. I wanted to find a shop that would sell individual clicks, and I found one on 6th Ave. It was called Dark Tower, I think, Comics and Games, and it's right by where Stargazer is now. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same space. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I remember walking in, and the guy behind the counter was sitting there, and there was this bunch of stuff blocking like the view of him, like stuff on the counter, in boxes and stuff, like action figures. And he was sitting there playing, I think, like Neverwinter Nights or something on the computer. Sick. And I walked in, and he just kind of, like was like, hey, and turned back to his game. I was like, hey, I'm looking for HeroClix. He was like, oh yeah, they're over there. He went back to his game, and I was like, okay. And I went and looked at the cabinet, and I think I remember buying Whirlwind, if I remember correctly, which was a good piece because it had Flurry and BlazeClaw's fangs.
Yeah.
But anyway, but you can't have. It's so hard to get people into a comic book shop in the first place.
Yeah. If
somebody walks in for the first time and they're treated like that, they're never going to come back.
Right.
It's just, why bother?
Yeah.
Which we're really lucky in this area, I feel, to have the kind of community we do. Not just for comic book shops, but gaming shops as well.
Yeah. That's what
people are super friendly.
That's what I love. Like, back in the day, we had Comic Book Inc. and Comic Evolution.
Yeah.
And both places were fantastic hangouts, and both people who ran those shops were amazing people. Are amazing people, I should say.
Yeah.
And, like, even back in when I was young, and the Spider's Web was still around. Which, for those who don't know, Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn, used to own the Spider's Web here in Puyallup. And I remember going in there for the first time.
Yeah.
And that place was rad as fuck. And like the people who ran it were super friendly, especially to the kids.
Yeah, I barely remember going there. I think I went there once or twice, but that I completely forgot about that. But
now I've been to now our comic book options now. I've been to Stargazer once, and they were super nice and super friendly and made it a really good atmosphere. I actually cannot say anything about Atomic Comics because I have not been in there yet, but I've been wanting to go for a while. Mainly because I work at UPS and they come get their comics from us all the time. I'm like, I need to go and see what this comic shop's about.
Well, Atomic Comics is a great shop. It's right by the Tacoma Mall, and that's one of the reasons why I think they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
They just have a great location. It's right where all this traffic comes in. But it really is a true comic book shop. I don't know if I think they sell Magic. I know they don't sell HeroClix anymore. They don't really do gaming at all. They're just strictly comics, collectibles, and action figures.
Okay.
And I like them. They're great. Their prices are pretty good, across the board. My only gripe with them, and why I like Stargazer more, and I'm just being honest, is Atomic doesn't really... You're going to go in, kind of shop around, pick up some stuff, and then you're getting the fuck out. And that's not necessarily their fault. I think that's designed in purpose because there's not a lot of room in the parking lot. Their location just isn't really...
Ideal.
Yeah, ideal for that kind of a business. Whereas Stargazer, it's right on 6th Ave. It's a main road with a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people there's a lot of bars and clubs and stuff. So people want somewhere to go to hang out. But Atomic, I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but it's a good shop too. And they're super friendly as well. Yeah, that's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
So, did you want to talk a bit more about Comic Book Inc., Comic Evolution, or did you want to move on?
I don't really care either way. Like, I don't know what else to say, honestly. Like, they're awesome, but sadly they're gone now, and I miss them.
Yeah. I think they just... I think the sign for Comic Book Inc. at their final location just came down a little while ago, and it sucked because every time I would pull in there to go see a movie at that theater, because they were right next to a movie theater, I would see that sign and be like, "Oh, Comic Book Inc."
I'm actually up on 72nd quite often, and it's still up.
That one, yeah. The glass still says Comic Book Inc.
Their first one. No one's rented it.
Yeah, it's weird. I would love to see that become a new comic shop again, but I don't see it happening.
No.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much... I think we can end this segment with just saying that comic book shops are pretty much the backbone of a lot of indie comics, and because Marvel and DC could survive without it, let's be honest. But
oh god, yeah.
But as far as comic books go, the actual books, I think indie comics are going to be taking over. They're going to be there's going to be other companies that are going to rise in the future. And I think Marvel and DC, they have their movies and stuff like that, but their book sales are dwindling slowly.
Right.
So it's super important for you to support your local comic book shop. I'm going to try to do that as much as I can, as much as I have money. And I would just...
Helping out your local comic book shop helps out indie artists and all that. Helps out the community, really, in the end.
Well, yeah. Helping small business helps out the community.
Yeah.
Period. So, let's move on to our next topic here, because we still have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So the next one up here, we have 5th Edition Oddities. Mark, take it away.
Okay, so first, before I even start, everyone listening to this should know that I'm going to be dragging the 5th Edition Ranger core class through the goddamn mud. Also, everyone listening should know that I know that the guys at D&D put out an Unearthed Arcana, fixing their mistakes last year and improving the core class. For those who don't know, Unearthed Arcana is a series of articles that are like They're released once a month on the D&D website.
Mm.
That adds like new features such as like new feats, classes. They added a prestige class not too long ago, and yeah. So with that in mind,
Okay.
how did D&D save the Ranger? Well, basically with 5th edition, each character class you choose has like an expertise or like a archetype for that class.
Okay.
So like Rogue has like your sneaky thief, just like staying a normal thief, or you can go like assassin,
Okay.
or you can be a spell thief, which is they call arcane trickster. But for Ranger, it was hunter or beastmaster.
Right.
Sounds cool. Hunter was good. Hunter was basically your generic ranger. It had the fighting styles, the small amounts of magic to create a formidable, versatile, fighter. Whereas Beastmaster
Right.
is you get a dog, bird, or cat to travel with and fight with you. And they aren't great, and you can't, like, upgrade later on.
Wow. Hooray.
And it was like, yeah, there was ways to make it so that you could make it like a okay class. But really, it was just like a pain in the ass. And so, like, I've never seen anything good said about the 5th edition Ranger until now. Basically, basically, as of January, 16th, they released 2 new Ranger archetypes, and they're awesome. The first one is called the Horizon Walker, and the other one is called the Primeval Guardian.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Right? They're both really cool. The Horizon Walker is a ranger who can like maneuver through the ethereal plane on his or her whimsy as they move.
Jesus.
So like you can start your turn and as a bonus action enter the ethereal plane and then take your full movement, and once your movement ends, you pop back up in the real world. So and that I'm pretty sure does not allow for attacks of opportunity if you're like surrounded.
Oh my god.
So you're just a slippery little bitch.
So, but is that from like at what level do you get that? Or is that an innate thing?
It starts off at like 3rd level when you get to start doing stuff like that.
Okay.
I think it's like 7th level that the ability I'm describing is like 7th level.
Okay.
But 3rd level you get to start off, and as you get strong, as you level, you get to do more and more shit with the ethereal plane, and it gets goddamn crazy.
That sounds ridiculously powerful.
It's I don't have it up right this second, but it is not. It's mostly movement based.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not overpowered. Like they have it toned down. Like it's pretty well balanced. It's a little
okay.
I could see it being a little off balanced, but it's a way better alternative than the Beastmaster.
Okay. Well, yeah, Beastmaster sounds lame.
Yeah. And then the Primeval Guardian. As for the Primeval Guardian, I just lost it.
Jeez, Mark.
I know. I'm on the spot. I have so much pressure. The Primeval Guardian, he's a ranger that's more connected to nature. He's very like a ranger druid mix in a way. The way I see it, he's more of like a tanky druid, like you would see in like WoW.
Yeah.
Basically, the ranger is able to like take the form of a large. Okay, so basically, at 3rd level, you become one with nature, and you're able to like take the form of a large creature resembling basically like an Ent from Lord of the Rings.
Oh shit.
Like, you start spreading, like, leaves, and, like, your skin gets all bark-like, and you turn into a large creature. Your speed reduces to 5 feet.
Oh wow, so you get really fucking slow.
Yeah, but...
Because you're a tree.
Because you're a tree. But as you level, you can do. But as you level, you can do more and more inside your area. So, like,
okay,
at a certain point, you get like an aura, a 30-foot aura around you that like makes it your enemies have difficult terrain, so it slows them down.
Ooh.
You have spells like Entangle and stuff. Eventually, friendlies in your area get healed by your aura.
This sounds a hell of a lot like a druid.
Right, it's very druid, very like a ranger that wishes it was a druid kind of thing.
Yeah.
I actually made a character with that ranger class with a. There was a book that came out a couple months ago called Volo's Guide to Monsters, and it introduced like 12 new different races.
Jesus.
And one of them is called a Furbolg, and they're basically like they are there's like the Feywilds is a plane of existence. They're like if a human and a creature from the Feywild mated, that's the offspring is a Furbolg. They're very peaceful. And they also have a racial ability where you can just bonus action turn invisible.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna turn into this large creature and then bonus action turn invisible.
Just be a giant invisible tree.
Yeah.
And then all the enemies are slowed down, and they're just like, "Why are we slow?"
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's great.
But yeah, so that's kind of how they saved 5th edition. I have the link for that I will put in the description below this video. So you can check those out. It also includes a new rogue archetype, which is pretty neato too. It's less rogue and more... I wouldn't call it a rogue because it's kind of honorable in a way if you're a scout, but I'll get into that another time.
Okay. That was a tease.
Yes.
All right, so moving right along, let's jump into the Weekly Geek. So first of all, we have a little bit of a plug here. I guess, Mark, you can go ahead and do this.
Oh, okay. So, some self-promo. We, me and David are a part of Mother Creepypasta's latest series that's going on her channel. It's called Dimensional Jumping. It's more sci-fi than horror so far. But,
yeah, so far.
From what I understand, it gets a little darker. But it's pretty cool so far. You can check that out on Mother Creepypasta's channel on YouTube or VidMe. Both links will be in the description for that. It's going to be a 10-part series.
Yeah.
The first, 3 parts already out? 4 parts?
I think 3.
Okay, so 4's coming.
Yeah.
But,
okay, yeah.
Like my character is a detective who is... Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but my character's a detective. Who are you playing, bud?
I actually have a few parts. I play an old man that the main character runs into, and he's interesting, to say the least. And then I have a little, like I'm a newscaster at one point. There is a couple lines where I'm a disembodied voice coming through the TV, which is creepy. And I had to to do the voice like it was coming through, like stuttering and coming through static, which was interesting, but fun to do and really creepy. And then again, another disembodied voice.
Nice.
So yeah, and it's fun because I haven't really done anything like this. Like I did a little part in one of her earlier videos, but I was the newscaster. Right. But I'm really interested in. I need to talk to you about this. Actually, I want to do more voice acting.
Ooh, I can
yes.
talk to you about that at a later junction.
Of course. So yeah, let's move into the Weekly Geek here.
Creepypasta, dimensional jumping. Check it out.
Fuck yeah. So first up, let's talk about that Logan trailer.
Let's talk about that Logan trailer.
Dat X23.
Shit. Right? Oh my god.
Jesus.
If
you haven't seen it, we'll put the link to the trailer in the show notes.
Bloody as fuck.
Yeah. This is R-rated, so we're gonna have an R-rated Wolverine movie.
Finally.
Yeah, thank you, Deadpool.
Seriously, thank you, Deadpool, for convincing Marvel to make Wolverine right. Yeah,
exactly. So for anybody who doesn't know about, what this movie's about, it's just, it's another solo Wolverine movie, and it's in the future ways. I'm not sure how far, but it's basically loosely based off of Old Man Logan, the comic book series.
Yeah.
It seems like at least the part of the world he's in might be a little bit desolate, destroyed by something. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem totally post-apocalyptic, but he's old. His healing factor seems to have dwindled. I kind of like Mountain Man. Yeah, I like Mountain Man Wolverine.
Yeah, me too.
But Mark here has an interesting theory. He kind of blew my mind a little bit last night when we were talking about this.
Okay, so for those who haven't watched the trailer yet and are waiting until after this show, you might want to watch the trailer because I'm going to spoil the trailer a little bit. But
it's a trailer.
Whatever. Xavier's in it.
Mm-hmm.
You see Xavier in the back seat a lot, and he looks old as fuck, on his deathbed. And the only time he talks that I saw was when he was addressing Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan didn't seem to be talking back. And no one seemed to be looking at Xavier at all. And I'm wondering if my theory is that Xavier is actually dead. And that's just Wolverine's a factor of dementia for Wolverine or something, having hallucinations of his old mentor.
Or what if Xavier somehow became implanted in Wolverine somehow,
maybe,
or a piece of him, or something like that.
I could see it that he might have died, but his mind survived, kind of thing. He died, but this is just the aspect of his mind.
But you might think, I don't know, you if that were the case, would Xavier show himself, in Wolverine's mind as his young self, or how he died?
That's true. Who knows? But we don't know.
Yeah. Which I am a little sad that James McAvoy isn't in this, because I love me some James McAvoy.
That's okay. He's coming out. He's going to be in a new movie soon that I'm excited for as well.
What, that Split movie?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Looks so good.
Dude. It's the first time I've been excited for an M. Night Shyamalan movie in a long time. Just because it's James McAvoy. His performance looks fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
It looks creepy as hell. So anyway, let's go on to the next headline here in the Weekly Geek. We have a solo Black Adam movie was announced with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing Black Adam, which he's going to play in Shazam. But now they're saying they're actually going to go past that and give Black Adam his own movie.
Which will be interesting.
Very interesting, because DC is giving villains movies. Marvel hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
So it's something that DC is, because they're also doing Gotham City Sirens, and they've already done Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So, and if you do movies for villains, I mean, that opens up a whole other ballgame. I mean,
That's
and
true.
DC...
That's a good
DC
point.
has...
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, DC has some of the best villains. I mean, I maintain Batman has the best rogues gallery in comics, period.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
With Spider-Man being a close second. But I real quick, I wanted to say this. I thought of this the other day. Here's the proof of that. Why Batman has the best. No other heroes rogues gallery could carry their own TV show like Gotham.
True.
Batman isn't in that. Bruce Wayne is as a kid.
Right.
But there's no Batman, and there's still, Penguin and Catwoman and Joker. I haven't actually watched it, but but his side characters and mainly his rogue gallery. I mean, even Spider-Man's, well, he has an amazing rogues gallery, and the Flash does too.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Flash has a good one too.
Yeah. I mean, they could be characters in other people's stuff, but not carried on their own.
Right.
But anyway, this Black Adam movie, it's of course not going to be coming out for a while because they got to do Shazam first, and that's not coming out for a while either. So this is kind of in their talks, but they're going like anti-hero Black Adam, not full villain Black Adam.
Okay, I like anti-hero Black Adam.
Yeah, otherwise it'd basically be him just being an asshole and ripping people apart for 2 hours.
Well, I mean, that probably would be the case anyway, but...
That's true. By the way, if you're listening to this, you probably know who Black Adam is. But if you don't, he's an enemy of Shazam, who's kind of like a magical version of Superman. He can do pretty much everything Superman can do, except he's fueled by magic. And Black Adam is his archenemy, kind of the antithesis to him.
Yeah.
And he was actually an Egyptian pharaoh or something like that. He's been around for millennia because he's super fucking powerful. And The Rock, in all honesty, is the perfect guy to play him.
Yeah.
In my
absolutely.
mind.
I think so too. I never thought of Black Adam getting an actual role in a movie. Because I didn't actually know about the Shazam movie till you had said something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I now that I think about it, I don't see anybody else that could play that role.
Huh? I'm sorry. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I mean, they could probably get somebody. I think Jason Momoa, but I mean, he's already playing Aquaman,
Yeah.
I just hope he's not in his solo movie. I hope he's not too Scorpion King-esque, like, because he's the ruler of a country called Kahndaq. So,
fucking Scorpion King.
But Dwayne Johnson's actually a very, very good actor, so he could very, very well pull it off. So let's move on to the next one here. Powerless.
Fuck yeah, Powerless! I'm excited for that show.
Yeah. Where the hell
comes out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks?
That's what I'm trying to find here. February 2nd is when it airs on NBC. And Powerless it's about Wayne Security, which is I think an insurance security company, a subsidiary of Wayne Enterprises. And it's it's run by his cousin. Alan Tudyk he actually plays the CEO, and he is Bruce Wayne's cousin.
I love Alan Tudyk. He's so fucking funny.
Yeah. And it's going to be great seeing him in a TV series where he can really... a TV series again, I should say.
Yeah.
Where he can really get into the character. But, all the people all the characters are normal-ass people in the middle of the city in DC with superheroes flying around and destroying shit. And Starro shows up, which blew me away. I
And then
didn't think we'd see fucking Starro right away. Yeah, Starro just gets blown up. Spoilers.
It's in the trailer.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll put the trailer up. It also has, I don't know his name, but Abed from
Danny Pudi.
Community. Danny Pudi, yeah.
Yep.
And he's hilarious. I'm trying to think of who else is in this that we know of.
I
can't think of anybody else.
Recognize too many people besides Danny Pudi and Alan Tudyk.
Yeah. Vanessa Hudgens is in it.
Oh, that's right. Vanessa Hudgens is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that looks hilarious. There's a really funny part about Wonder Woman's invisible jet. Some guy is supposed to put together a Wonder Woman jet toy.
And
he's like,
also
wait,
invisible.
It is invisible. And he's just, you could see him miming that he's putting it together. And then somebody walks by and knocks it over, apparently. And he's like, no!
I just finished it!
So that looks fucking hilarious. And another, TV show news, this one we're both really excited for is Good Omens is getting a TV series. The book by...
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, the book by...
to see the upcoming success that will be American Gods. They already know they want this as a TV show. Good old BBC.
Fuck yeah. So, this is based on the book Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. It's going to be a 6-part series, and it's going to be on Amazon, and it's produced by both Amazon and BBC.
Yeah.
And it's basically a comedic view of the apocalypse.
It's freaking the hilarious. End times.
It is hilarious.
It's just like one big fuck up after another.
Yeah. And 2 of the stars, it's going to be really cool to see this in a visual medium. So, the 2 main characters, or 2 of the main characters, are an angel and a demon who have been stuck on Earth since the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, living together.
And they're in charge of, I guess, it's been a while since I read the book, but making sure that the apocalypse happened and moving events forward and everything. And somehow they fuck up and they misplace the Antichrist.
The Antichrist gets swapped with another kid who's been born in the same area because they look alike.
Yeah. So the actual I won't spoil too much here, but the actual Antichrist basically grows up as a normal ass kid instead of like being some, the son of a politician or something like he should be.
Yeah.
And that just gives you an idea of the tone for the whole thing. It's sort of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. With a little bit, less silliness, but to the apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's definitely that British humor, and it's a cult classic book. If you haven't read the book, you should definitely read it. It's very sad that Terry Pratchett won't be around to see this adaptation.
Yeah.
But it's an excellent fucking book. Next to American Gods, it's probably my favorite by Neil Gaiman. All right, so that is the end of our show, episode 7 here. So, of course, at the end of every show, we like to wrap things up with a quote. This time, it's from Logan, kind of a 2-part quote here. You heal too slow, X-23. So you keep telling me, Wolverine. This has been Geek Banter, a production of the Bizarre Network. Until next time, shop smart, shop S-Smart.
Bye-bye.
Bye.